Oh, hey everyone. For those who are wondering what the hell I'm doing right now, I'm currently studying the art of the hot take. You see, I want my friends to know how much of a rebellious filmgoer I am so that I could fit into their friend group. And with this book in hand, I think I'm ready to come up with my own.
What's up, demographics? What if I told you you could solve the mystery behind who the Zodiac Killer is just by looking for your wallets? I bet you didn't. Now everyone get out your social security numbers.
And you know what else is a hot take? I have no idea where we are with Civil War. This was one of the most hyped up films of the year, and I do kinda get why. An Alex Garland directed film with little to no story, complete with a dystopian setting and in-your-face commentary. That there just screams too big to fail. And I guess that proved well at the box office, because for a movie that isn't attached to any franchise with little to no recognizable names outside of a select few, it did modestly better than anyone was expecting. Certainly a surprise to me, because personally I don't think this movie is that good. And that's an opinion that's not entirely lost in translation. Ever since the film came out, the discourse surrounding this had been completely split down the middle, like Ireland during the Troubles era, with some people declaring it as one of the most important films of the year, and others saying that they were just bored the whole time and never really saw any point to it. Okay. Alright, positives first. I like the cinematography. Rob Hardy has always been excellent at capturing the world at its most hopeless, and there's no difference here. This movie's America is miserable. It's empty, abandoned, and so far away from what the American dream was supposed to be because of how fast times can change. And it continues Garland's winning streak for making these ruthlessly violent dystopian futures. The acting is pretty good. Wish I could say the same about the writing, but we'll get to that later. And yes, everyone, Jesse Plemons is the biggest highlight of the film, even though he only gets about 4.5 minutes of screen time. I don't even think they give him a name. With that said, I don't like that haircut glasses fashion scheme. I don't know why, he looks like a Fatboy Slim album cover. In those aspects, the film was perfect. Everything else, though... Look, I usually don't like to copy and paste my Letterboxd reviews to make a point, but can't really think of anything else to say here, so I feel like I have to. At its worst, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that was this pretentious and arrogantly self-absorbed in all my life. I mean, I know this is calling it kettle black here because I've liked plenty of movie that is considered pretentious. And the message of how empty the American dream has become is there. It's just that I got that already from frame one. The other 90 minutes just hammers it in to the point of being meaningless and nauseating. The writing also felt very one note, and while I do like that everyone is giving it their all with what they got, the characters they play are literally characters. As in letters. I can barely remember any of them. The two main leads are photographers. That's all I know about them. The father character is humble and caring. And that's all I know about him. Even the president, played by a criminally underrated Nick Offerman, freaking Agent Powers from Gravity Falls, and Schlub from Sin City. What happened here? As messy as the film is, though, I cannot deny that it's at least ambitious. Like, there's some ideas in here that are admittedly pretty clever. It's just that most of it would have benefited from being longer. 109 minutes is just way too short for a story like this. Which... I know I'm diving into very dangerous territories here because this is one of the same criticisms I originally had with Anna and the Moods before I ended up eating my words later on. Seriously, that movie is like a permanent stain on my channel. I just can't escape it. But in this case with Civil War, there's zero context as to why this huge war started in the first place. All the characters barely get any developed before they're horrifically axed off. The ending felt extremely rushed. And again, it all feels shorter than it should be. I feel really bad for giving this a 4 out of 10, considering that this is probably going to be Garland's last movie, but while I am glad that he went out on a high note for some, it could have been so much more. Like, if this had a better script, this would have been up there with Apocalypse Now as a misunderstood masterpiece. You know, I'm suddenly starting to think this is a big mistake. Can I just delete this video? Like, without any warning, can I just remove this?